Alright, so welcome back, guys, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be doing my review of The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 9, Adaptation Review. So if The Walking Dead is something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way don't miss more Walking Dead content from me in the future. Now let's begin. To start off, I'm going to talk about Negan and Judith, because I did really like some of the things they did there and what they did building up their relationship, establishing the Carl and Negan relationship from the comics. Now, I know some fans are talking about how they're becoming like a father-daughter figure. I don't see that. I just feel like they have a level of respect for each other. And I do like, I just feel like I'm more attracted to it due to how much I love the actress who plays Judith. I just never felt that connected to Chandler Riggs in the same way. But I just really like what they're doing there. But then you got him going out on his own. Now, I feel like some of the stuff with Negan could have been cut. Like him wandering around and finding that zombie in the oil. Him being chased by dogs and conveniently finding another leather jacket. That just felt too convenient. And just a little bit of a waste of time. Now, moving to where he ends up getting sick. Now, I think that was an interesting thing to have done. But I feel like it shows a level of incompetence from Negan, as I feel like any normal person being 6 years into the apocalypse would probably know not to drink from a water that's probably not been filtered or anything for almost a decade now. So I feel like that was stupid and it was just kind of forced to make him throw up. I think they could have done that in a better way, to have him throw up at the same place where he killed Gwen and Abraham. That's not a big flaw, but I just feel like it was just a little bit ignorance in the writers. But I did like how they brought him back to where he killed Gwen and Abraham. But then you have him going back to the sanctuary. And I really like how they put him in some same spots, like the meeting room and the balcony overlooking at everything. And I really like those scenes. It just brought back like how like things had changed over the past years since he was there. And it confirms practically that the saviors are gone and the factory went to bust. Now, then we get into him finding that one guy left. Now, I know a lot of fans were kind of frustrated and annoyed that it was just some random savior and it wasn't someone that we knew from the saviors. Now, personally, I think that was fine. I don't think that it needed to be someone that we knew. I feel like it works perfectly the way it was done, because this wasn't done for us. It was done for Negan. It wasn't done as something that we should know, and it makes more sense that it was someone that we wouldn't know. So I'm okay with it not being someone we know. And then you have him killing him and a bunch of other saviors that were left over. And then he returns. Now, this is where I get into some things where I'm just like, this is just stupid. And like, where did this come from? Where Judith finds him on the road and shoots him or misses it, and he ends up getting on the ground and they're talking to each other there. Now, my first question here is, where is Judith's babysitter? Like, seriously? She's the kid of Rick Grimes and you're just letting her wander off. Like, whoever's watching her should be like fired and exiled from the community ASAP. Like, that just seems so stupid and just like convenience there. I think it would have been better if they used it where like she was with someone and then just walked off. I think that'd be a little bit better, but still it'd just be a little bit too convenient as well. I don't know, but I do again like the conversation that they had there. It was very good, and I do like what they're doing with the two characters. Just some things like that just feel like, really, what are they doing in Alexandria? It just felt a little out of place and just felt a little bit silly. But overall, very much enjoyed what they did with those two characters in the episode. Moving into the episode overall, I found the intro opening minutes that for most people had already seen, where they're in the graveyard, pretty cool. I like how they utilized the rain and the lightning very well in those scenes, and I really like how when they were leaving, they did the whole thinking that they were safe, but then the Whisperer was opening the gate after they left. I really like those moments. They were very cool and interesting. Just added extra more tension and stuff to the moments. But then you move forward with their story to the next day. And I really like what they did with the conversation on the road between Michonne and Daryl. I really like that with the stuff between them and Rick. I just thought that was some really good character moments and some very good scenes. Just building off some interesting build-up probably to the X Marks reveals, which I'm kind of hoping are big, but I kind of have a feeling they're going to be a bit disappointing. But then you got them coming across the bridge as we've seen in the sneak peek. And, Daryl shoots the one Whisper in the leg, and he gets devoured. And then Michonne kills another one, and they find and capture Lydia. Now, I gotta say, I really like what they did with the casting for Lydia here. I know there are a lot of fans who were disappointed and didn't like how she was blonde or wasn't blonde. The thing I find interesting though is if you look at it, you kind of got a gender kind of swap in a sense on the TV show, because Henry's the blonde one and then she's got the dark hair, where in the comics Lydia was the blonde one and Carl had the darker hair. So I kind of thought that was kind of cool how they kind of swapped that out in a sense. I just found that kind of interesting, kind of cool. I feel like in a sense it's paying homage to the comics, and I just kind of liked how that all played out in the end. But then you have our group returning home after capturing her, and you got Tammy kind of making a big deal over the death of Jesus. Now, I'm not saying that wasn't a big deal, but I feel like she's just causing trouble just to cause trouble. They're probably just building her up to end up being piked at the end of the season. She's a character that I could definitely see being piked, and I'm interested to see what goes on for a character, because I feel like the only purpose of her character is to cause trouble and just to be in disagreement with the leaders of the hilltop. Now, at the same time, we got them bringing Lydia in, and at first you got Michonne, Tara, and Daryl outside the cell interrogating her. Now, I really like how they had the girls inside the cell and had Daryl outside, and I like what they said and like the behind the scenes stuff, where like he was just watching her from the outside and just getting a sense and feel for the person and how she was. I really like how they did that. I feel like that was smart and utilizing Daryl in a very cool and interesting way. And it's just bringing us back to like season 2 Daryl. Remember when he was interrogating Randall? I feel like that was paying kind of homage there, and it just felt like old school Daryl again. And then you got the funeral for Jesus. Now, this is one thing that I felt lacked a lot, and I feel like they should have gotten a proper funeral to Jesus, where like you had someone speak about him, and I just feel like they just did a montage of Jesus' death, and I feel like that was kind of, I didn't really like that. Going back to some of the stuff that they did with Negan, I feel like if they cut out like at least the dog stuff, I think if they cut out that stuff with Negan, we would have been able to get a proper funeral for Jesus. And I think that was definitely needed due to him being the leader of the hilltop, a prominent character. And I just think it would have been kind of a good moment there just to pause and just pay homage to this character that we've known for a few seasons now. And for me, I just felt like that was a wasted opportunity. But back to the interrogation of Lydia, because afterwards, Michonne decides to leave, and you got Daryl who decides to go down to interrogate Lydia. Now, I really like what they did here and what Daryl was doing, because, he was trying to get answers. He knew she was lying, and how he utilized her fear and everything going on with Henry there. And he pretty much just did everything to his advantage to make Henry stand up for Lydia. Then he was going to leave those two alone and then listen from above. Now, I really find that cool and interesting how he was like manipulating the situation, how he knew that if he did X, Y, and Z, Henry would stick up for Lydia. The two would end up growing a bond, and that Henry and Lydia would grow a bond, and then Lydia would trust Henry and reveal secrets, and he didn't have to interrogate her in such a way that, might traumatize her or whatever. But I really like that. I think I feel like that was an interesting way to take the Daryl character, and an interesting thing to do with the Daryl character, because I think that was definitely warranted, and something I found very interesting with his character moving forward, and hopefully establishing himself as leader of the hilltop. So, moving over to Luke and Alden's story. Now, I know a lot of people really didn't like this kind of pairing and kind of thought that it was kind of silly. They didn't seem like well-hardened survivors, but I actually gotta say, I enjoyed very much what they did with these two characters in the scenes that they got. They were actually a pretty good duo, and I'm interested to see where they go in the future. I do not think either of them are dying, at least until closer to the end of the season yet. I think Alden's definitely an option for the Pike, and Luke is 50-50 at this point. But I'm very interested to see where they go with these two. I know some people don't think that they're hardened survivors, but Alden is a former savior. Yes, he wasn't like a savior, but he was a hardened survivor. And Magna put out a statement that proves a lot to us. She said that when she told Enid that Luke is a survivor. Now, that wasn't just Magna being nice about a friend or saying, oh, he's a survivor. No, that's her saying that he is a hardened survivor. Like, he can take care of himself. So that was a nice little Easter egg there. And then you got, of course, the ending where they are following the bows that the Whisperers got from Yumiko when she was shooting back, I think, in episode 7. Now, I found that was a very cool and interesting thing that the Whisperers would do, and they followed a trail, and then they end up being trapped by the Whisperers. And, of course, we got the iconic scene of Alpha holding them at gunpoint, saying, trail ends here. Now, I was a little disappointed that they didn't do the don't move thing, but I'm thinking that they might do it for another scene, so I'm not totally upset about that. At the moment, I was kind of disappointed, but I think there's hope for that scene to play out in the future. But overall, very much enjoyed what they did with these two characters, and excited to see them more in the future. Last, I just want to touch on Rosita and Eugene. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking that Rosita was cheating on Father Gabriel with Eugene. I didn't see the purpose of that. I kind of thought that was silly. Why would he be expressing her love for her if he was already having an affair with her? It didn't make much sense. The pregnancy thing, I feel, kind of was forced. I feel like that was unnecessary, really. I get they're adapting things from the comic, but I feel like it just felt a little bit forced. And it's like, it doesn't really do anything for the story other than if she does get the pike, it's a crushing blow to that character. I kind of hope Tara takes her place and and Rosita doesn't get piked, but I kind of got a bad feeling that they might end up piking her, which is kind of disappointment to me. I really like the Rosita character, and I kind of don't want to see her get piked, but I have a bad feeling that she might be. Overall, though, this wasn't. I didn't care too much about this little storyline here. Again, the pregnancy felt forced. I get what they're going for, but it just felt forced. The cheating note was okay. Sadiq was the obvious choice due to comics, but the pregnancy thing just felt forced and just unnecessary. Overall, though, I felt like this was okay. It just, well, it's nothing like special like some of the other stuff in this story. Overall, though, it's just okay, though. So yeah, guys, that's my review of The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 9, Adaptation. My rating for this episode will probably be an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know how you feel about this episode in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and share, and hit that subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon. That way don't miss more Walking Dead content from me in the future. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.